Colleen Francis. Engage Selling Solutions. Get engaged, get results.
There's really 3 key things that you need to know. Be nice, stay focused, and get to work. If you are not selling, you are overhead. So what does that mean? Well, that means that top performers find ways to generate business or opportunities every single day.
Looking for sales results in today's tough market? Colleen Francis delivers. Building on over 15 years of sales success, Colleen engages with your team, coupling conventional sales wisdom with the latest techniques proven to work today.
And in sales, there is a fine line between persistence and stalking. American Marketing Association says your customers and your prospects will withstand up to 200 attempts a year before they'll tell you to go away, that you're stalking them. What the study also says is you can't use the same kind of media, because if I called April 200 times this year, I would have like a warrant in front of me, I'm sure, right? But if you mix up those media types, you can reach out to your customers more often.
Colleen, I know you've been doing this for a while. What got you into the business of helping other people sell?
Well, Jill, I've had a lot of really great sales mentors in my life because I have to say, when I first started out selling, I failed miserably. 6 months into selling, I was on a draw against commissions, and 6 months into receiving a $2,000 a month draw, I'd sold nothing. And so I was $12,000 in the hole to my first employer, and I had a really great mentor pull me out of that. And when I left that company and moved on and went into sales management, what I discovered is that I really loved helping my sales reps succeed, and I got a real kick and a real passion out of helping my team sell more because there were things that they were doing that I knew they could improve. And so it was a natural for me to start my own business.
I like to figure out how many sales are required for you to hit your target. So if you've got $1 million quota or $1 million revenue target and your average selling price is $10,000, let's just say, how many sales does it take to hit your $1 million? Every one sale you need to make, you need 3 qualified opportunities in your pipeline. A qualified opportunity, by my definition, is an opportunity that you know has money, has authority to spend that money, and a desire to spend it with a company like yours. You need 3 of those in order to get one sale, on average. But here's where the numbers get a little bit scarier, which is why we have to be selling every day. And that is, it takes 25 attempts to find one qualified lead. So we're talking about a 75-to-1 closing ratio for most companies on net new business development. So if you think about that and you think about your $1 million in sales targets and the 10 sales that you need to make, talking about 750 attempts that you have to make in order to get those sales. And if you're not doing some of that every single day, it's easy to get behind, and it's easy then to have a dry pipeline. So good prospecting skills, good discipline, good focus in the front end of the sales cycle solves all the other problems.
When you take a look at it, what's the biggest opportunity you've found for helping people sell more right away?
We have to balance strategies and tactics because some little things can be done immediately in order to improve results. If we can teach you how to get past a gatekeeper, a voicemail, for example, or handle an objection. But these are small ideas that people can implement right away. The second thing we have to focus on is their attitude, because 90% of the top performers we study say that their success comes from really what they're passionate about and how they love to help their customers.
Thousands of sales professionals and business owners have found her refreshing candor and up-to-date insights a winning combination.
Referral programs and live events are the #1 ways that sales reps actually feel that they should be developing leads. Here are the metrics that we talked about. One sale equals 75 leads, right? 3 qualified leads times 25, whereas we're seeing that in companies that have strong referral programs, that their closing ratios are as little as 1 in 4. So 1 in 75 versus 1 in 4.
I'm hearing a lot of people say that it's tough to sell in today's market. Really tough. And what do you say when you hear people say that?
Well, it is true that today's market is not like the market 10 years ago or even 15 years ago. And normally what I find, there's a couple of things that are going on. One, I found that reps get complacent and they're trying to sell the same way that they were selling 10 years ago, and I can't understand why things are not going well for them. And I mean, that's like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So we look at ways they could be selling differently. Also, I find when markets are really tight like they are now and people are paying a little bit more attention to the dollar, we have to find other ways to differentiate ourselves. I mean, let's face it, some companies are doing exceptionally well today regardless of the market, and that's because they're different. They act different, they sound different, they talk different than their competition, and we need to teach sales reps how to differentiate themselves.
What we're noticing is that the sales process is actually starting before you get a chance to talk to the customer. 78% of your buyers will use the internet to research before they make an offline purchase. And an offline purchase, of course, is you and they transacting business. 87% of buyers believe what your customers say about you. So it's the testimonials. One thing that you can do immediately that will have a dramatic change in your sales results is to take all the corporate speak, or most of it, off your homepage and to put user testimonials or customer reviews and case studies.
How about differentiation? I mean, what are you telling people to do in order to differentiate themselves, since so much of it's based on the trust factor that's already developed?
A simple exercise I get my clients to do is to fold a piece of paper in half, and on the right-hand side of the page to write all the things that they do that are common in their business. What are all the competitors doing? What are the norms? What are the price points? What are the specials? What are the sales? What is the way they sell? And then on the left-hand side of the page to force themselves to break all those rules. I love what Frank Perdue said. If you can differentiate a chicken, you can differentiate anything. And so we look at trying to break that model. What is your competitor unwilling or unable to do that you could?
We can make our environments, our selling environments, really fun so that people want to do business with us. Your best tool in creating a really creative referral campaign is a tool called Chase's Calendar of Events. So it will have all the major holidays, and then it will have, if it's Cancer Month, but then anything else you want it to be, you can actually apply and have these days created. So there's days for everything, and what I'm noticing about real top-performing companies and people is that they're using these days to stand out with their customers. So no longer are they sending thank you cards at Christmas time. They're sending them at Valentine's Day, and they're doing things like, we love having you as a customer. The subtle way to ask for a referral is to just create an environment that people want to do business with and want to refer their friends to. So celebrating with your customers.
What do you tell me to do to break it, and how can I differentiate?
If service is something that you're really good at, and your competitors are also really good at service, then let's break apart your service model and see how we can add extra service. Maybe your service is great, but you're doing phone service and face-to-face, but you're not doing web service. Maybe you could add a platinum service level where you have a 24-hour response rate. Maybe you could include proactive service. So maybe instead of just a service program that says, when you call, we'll be there to help, you also start sending out monthly service tips on how to use your product or service. Take a look at what your competitive service offering is and say, what are they missing? What could we be doing differently? And then communicate that to your clients.
Two kinds of people in sales, two kinds of people in life. There are life givers and there are life suckers. Life suckers are just those people who out-complain you every step of the way. You have a headache, I got a migraine, right? Life givers, on the other hand, practice the power of reciprocity. So reciprocity is a very strong principle of influence. Sales managers shouldn't be asking how many referrals did you get, but how many should you give? Because I really believe that you get more referrals when you give more referrals. So the more business you give out to your customers, the more you help them grow their business, the more referrals you're going to get. We need to be those life givers. We need to find ways to create a culture of reciprocity.
So what would you say for the people who are watching us today? What's the best way for them to increase their sales?
One, I think you got to be open to try things different. You really have to say to yourself, okay, if I don't like the results I'm getting, what am I going to do differently this week or this month? So be open to that and do something differently. Our clients take a look at our articles. They read an article on our resources page, and then they say, okay, what's the one thing I can do differently this week or this month as a result, or one idea from the coaching program.
Colleen Francis. Engage Selling Solutions. Get engaged, get results.